Were all OPEC Plus members, including Russia, aligned on the decision that's been made here?
On the decisions, I mean, because there are quite a few of them. I think we did a full package which will hopefully sustain us and bring about clarity and visibility to our full intentions of what we want to do this year, the rest of this year, I mean next year, and even the preparatory work that we are putting together. Hopefully by mid-year next year we will have new baselines and a way forward that makes it more equitable, more fair for everybody to assign for them production levels that is going to be commensurate with their capacities in the most transparent way. And we believe that there are institutions that can do the work, and they are independent and they are reliable. And reliability is subjective, but I can't think of any better than the three that we have chosen.
What about the Saudi lollipop, this 1 million barrel cut from July with the option to extend? Why was that move necessary?
Well, I said lollipop, but then at the end I said it's the icing of the cake. Both, I think, it's very important that people realize that it was not something that was a part of a package, or because I'm sure that there are those who would say it was a tit-for-tat thing. But you have every meaningful way of verifying that not a single person who had attended these meetings had even heard of what number we will do, nor we have forwarded our proposals with this in mind, or we have forward this proposal with this thing attached to it. We did that, if you may recall, that in February 21, and it went on for, it depends on the situation. Then was much more severe. That's why we wanted to keep the option that it is extendable, because it is all going to be subject on how things will evolve.
We've seen oil prices fall about 10% in May, despite the cuts that are already in place. What is this latest measure going to mean for oil market balances and market stability in the second half?
One of the funny things that people sometimes deduce and write about without going to the original language. In April, when we all 8 or 9 countries issued our individual, which we have reissued today to talk about 24, we use the word precautionary. Now, precautionary, the word means we're hedging, which is hedging against an unknown. That doesn't mean we're placing an affirmative or a definitive judgment about how the market will be. It was just our sensibility, if you would call it, that the environment is not sufficiently allowing confidence to be there. So taking a precautionary measure tend to put you on the safe side. And it is part of the typical rhythm that we have installed in OPEC, which is being proactive, being preemptive. That tool is with us. So it doesn't mean that we have certainty about things may go sour or left or right. It was so funny, and some respected, I would call them respected outlets, or even those who attend to these, expert and so-called analysts, they took for granted. But the funny part is that when these statements were issued, they talked about the amount of inflation it would create, the amount it is all about increasing prices, blah, 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 this and that. Funny enough, 2-3 weeks when things did not go, again, it's almost a repeat of what happened in October, they pedaled back again and said, OPEC Plus action failed to arouse prices. Well, who said so? So I feel sorry for them because they should check what they have said the week and 2 weeks before, after the 4th of April, and what we've been saying ever since.
So what's your message to the market now?
Trust OPEC Plus because it is the most effective international organization that is attending to a serious commodity, and we are doing it with a great deal of responsibility. And if this gigantic deal cannot enforce that, I don't know what else we can do.
Do you trust your OPEC ally and partner, Russia, when it comes to maintaining its own commitments under this agreement?
Absolutely. But I always liked President Reagan line, trust but verify. That's why we have 7 agencies attending to the secondary sources, and we are now plugging 3 to assess capacity. There is always a good way. That's why people bring editors. That's why people, wherever the trade is, that's why people bring those people, independent assessors, independent assessors of production, of capacity, is to put the institution at bay and leave it to professional, independent of professional to do their job.
Your Royal Highness, thanks so much for speaking with me today, and thanks again for the invitation.
My pleasure.
Do you trust your OPEC ally and partner, Russia, when it comes to maintaining its own commitments under this agreement?
Absolutely. But I always liked President Reagan line, trust but verify. That's why we have 7 agencies